Yes, you're watching the South Australian Sports Show. Time to talk. Will you stop laughing and pay attention over here, mate?
Just we've got our floor managers' jeans.
What do you think?
Well, I wouldn't wear them crabbing.
Let's move on from that. So we move on quickly if we can. Now let's talk about Indigenous basketball. The Academy here in Adelaide at St Clair. Got a couple of the big boys in, Joey Wyatt, Scotty Whitmore join us. Thanks for your time, fellas.
Happy to be here. The crabbing thing still got me.
Still got you,
Still good, mate. Still good, mate. I'll use that.
Let's just get over it with a bit of a brush as quickly as we can in 7 or 8 minutes. So the Academy set up 4 years ago.
Yep.
30 students in there now.
Yeah.
So it's a basketball education, or probably education and basketball being the carrot.
That's it.
It's started to grow pretty nicely over that journey.
Yeah, it has. We were lucky enough to have some really big trials, and a lot of people attend last year. Students last year weren't super high, but yeah, it's grown in its popularity. The trip to the US helps as a bit of a carrot at the end of the year as well. But yeah, 30 students this year, good mix between male and female, and studying 4 subjects during the day, and then basketball in the afternoon, and then some cultural stuff in the morning with Joey here. So yeah, really, really good. We're so proud of it.
They don't get to go to the US unless.
That's right. So
Joey?
an attendance rate of, what was it, Joey?
Had to be about 85%. That's
85.
in the academy and also at school. So they had to meet the requirements to be able to go.
They've got to meet the 85.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Before they even are considered.
Yeah, before they even get considered. So throughout the whole year, no one was able to sort of go or sort of say you're going, you're not going until the date 2 weeks out. And if they're at the right level, they're able to go and start preparing and head off.
Can I ask you, if a student comes up with, say, 80%, just misses out, and you have to say to that student, you can't go to the US, you need 85%. Is that their only crack? Or can they stay, can they be there the following year and again, or do we have a new influx of students?
Well, I think it was open for the following year also. We actually had a student with that scenario who didn't meet the requirements, and for one barrier or another couldn't make the commitments, and we had to tell that young person they weren't able to go on the trip. So, very hard conversation, but we have to set standards for our young people and in the program to elevate them to where we want them to go to in the future. So, it's a tough conversation, but...
I spent a bit of time with Michael Long up in Darwin at the Michael Long Centre, talked to him about his program. It's been hugely successful up there, and they have similar points that they have to achieve to get into certain things. The 85%, is that more about the attendance than the actual grade, or is it grade and attendance for you guys?
Both, yeah. Education is really important. They have to be there, but then there are also expectations that they are meeting their educational requirements to actually remain in the program and stay within it and stay connected. So very high standards from SASS. I think this year went to 95%. Attendance. So, they're really trying to push our students and Aboriginal youth to actually strive for better results and, stay connected.
So Scotty touched on it. You've got the cultural stuff in the morning. Timmy Brenton, we know coaches there. That may be one of your failings. But no, Timmy's fantastic. He's a great coach, Timmy.
He's a legend.
He's legendary stuff, Timmy. So Timmy's got the basketball program. There's the education during the day. So if you look at it just on those 3 things alone, it's a pretty full-on week. If that's one day, that's going for 5 days. Roughly, how does it work?
So we have all the students arrive in the morning. We'll meet and greet them, catch up with them, say good day. Tim and I are sort of the main connectors with our students. We'll meet and greet every student as they arrive. We'll connect with them while they're having their first 15-20 minutes before the education components all start. Then I'll run a mustering session with the students.
Which runs, name. What do you call it? Rock and Water? Rock and Water.
Yep. So it's a body self-emotional awareness program, but obviously cater it to our Aboriginal cultural sort of needs. So the conversations are a little bit different, but all along the same principles. So it's just a way to connect, obviously grow and develop some new skills within the space, talk about barriers, be open and to sort of discuss some of the things that are going on, because the greatest role models for them will be each other. So if we can create some confidence in some of our students to actually be open and talk about some of the barriers that are happening, it gives another young person within our group the confidence to then share with either each other or myself or some of the peers or adult role models in the space. So really holistic approach to supporting them.
Scotty, there's been some great stories out of this program, hasn't there, already? It's only been going 4 years, but there's been some very good stories come out. One in particular that caught my eye was a lass that will play for the Lightning.
Yep.
This season?
Yeah, she's just signed. So Jazzy Fijo just signed. We don't we're not an elite academy. You don't have to be able to dunk and jump really high to be in it, but Jazzy obviously is, she was an elite player before she came to us, but uses us for the educational side of it as well, to finish SASS, to get through year 12.
Perfect.
So yeah, she's, I won't say poster child, but yeah, she's certainly kicked on to the next level. She had a great season with West Adelaide anyway, and extra work at the academy, I guess, has also helped her move into a spot with the Lightning. So fingers crossed that season gets off the ground from a COVID point of view, and she gets to show what she's all about at the next level.
There's others that have gone on coaching and doing.
Yeah, there are others, and for us, we do really push education first. It's about school retention and kicking on, and yeah, we've got a lot of students that have moved into university to do nursing or teaching or other kind of stuff, and then even some that just move into apprenticeships and traineeships is a big win for us as well.
Yeah.
It's all about that school retention and getting through.
It's interesting, Isaac, it keeps coming back to education. We're talking about education. Right now, Joey, Black Lives Matters is massive around the world. How do the kids handle it that you get a hold of in the morning? Are they helping educate the kids at St Clair?
I think through our musters, we sort of have conversations around. The last muster we had was talked about Black Lives Matter and how that's sort of affecting their own experiences, because obviously it's you know, in the spotlight at the moment.
Yeah.
And a lot of the conversations, some of them weren't really comfortable or confident to share. We had a young person who was touched by somebody in their life who died in custody. We had some other young Aboriginal students who talked about their experiences in going into shops and other places. So it just really brought some conversations to the forefront, and you know, just talking to these kids and them able to be able to come and talk to you, and then you provide them with some strategies of how to deal with those things, and then give them an outlet and a platform is really powerful for them to actually, you know, be confident to share their thoughts and feelings with you. So it's a real privilege.
My daughter's best friend's an Indigenous girl, and she's a ripper. In fact, they've just moved in together, and I was talking to her the other day, and she said it's just opened up a whole new world almost for her. People actually approaching her and talking to her rather than shying away from it. So I'm just wondering if it's had that impact at school or not. I suppose a bit early to gauge, is it?
Yeah, I think so, because they only come sort of once a week, and then you know, I had them for a very short period of time. But it is definitely opening up lots of conversations in you know, young people, also adults. So, and I think that's the beauty of it, is that it's creating conversation, and the only way to change or educate ourselves is through conversation. So if the more conversations are happening, the better it is for everybody. So
let's have a conversation about the trip to America, mate. 11 days. Scotty, you were on it for a little while. Brett Wheeler, one of the great Australian basketballers, he was on it as well. So I know kids see that as the Mecca. You know, that's where all the great players are. So we want to get to America, see the Forum, want to see those things. Was it an eye-opening experience for the kids that went?
Oh, amazing. You know, when you take them overseas, the excitement and anxiety at the airport, and then on the plane for 15, 16 hours, and then when they get off and they still got that excitement, that glint in their eye, like, you know, what are we in for? He's excited about this, that and the other, and just seeing their reactions to all the places we went to. But I think the biggest reaction was when we walked into the Lakers Forum and walked in the Staples Centre, and standing outside with the tickets, getting excited, and then actually walking in through the alleyway as it opens up and you see the stadium. Like, to see their eyes just light up, it's just a magical moment, and it was like that for every piece of the trip. And you know, there were some young people dealing with lots of different things, separation anxiety, hadn't gone out of the state, been alone in their own neighbourhood, and to go overseas and have a wonderful experience and come back and say, I want more of that. Is inspiring, and just to see their faces was magic. So it was a beautiful time.
Hey boys, appreciate you coming. You're doing a great job. I'd like to get a couple of the athletes in at some stage, have a chat with them as well. So appreciate your time, Scotty. Good on you, Joey.
Thanks,
Stay with us. Still plenty to come.